Hello, and welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
And I am Stacey Earlywine, and we are so bright.
We are.
We literally need to have our sunglasses. Well, I'm so bright I got to wear shades.
Yes, our future is so bright. We'll just change it to we are so bright.
We are so bright.
Yes, we got our gypsy going on today because that is the subject that we're going to talk about. Gypsies in Clay County and Marion County and around our viewing area.
Gypsies all over the world.
That's right. They're everywhere.
They were everywhere, and I've got like their origins of them and why they're called gypsies. I don't know, just a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Like
So, what's on the agenda? Anything good?
Let's see.
Like September.
It's homecoming week in Florida.
Oh, that's right,
It's homecoming week, yes. Yeah. So, I have a freshman in high school this year, and so she's having a lot of fun. Each day of the week, they have a dress-up day at school. Of course, not gypsies. Today was Barbie or Ken. They had to pick one to dress up as, Barbie or Ken.
They should add gypsies.
Yeah, they should have Gypsy Day.
Florida High School, Gypsy Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's fun. You can literally just pull anything out.
Yeah.
So today's Pink Day or Barbie Day.
Barbie or Ken Day.
Barbie or Ken Day. I wonder what some of the boys are going to do.
Carissa said that the boys, a lot of them were going to wear pink and dress like Barbie.
Oh.
Instead of Ken. And she said a lot of the girls were going to dress like Ken with a backwards cap. But
sure.
She went as Western Barbie, cowboy Barbie. She had a hot pink cowboy hat with a crown on it and a hot pink cowboy-ish looking shirt.
I wonder if anybody's going to go as astronaut Barbie.
I mentioned that she should do astronaut Barbie. She was like, I don't think so, Mom.
Yeah, Barbie's literally done it all.
She has, because I was like, you could do Dr. Barbie. You could do veterinarian Barbie.
Yeah, hairdresser Barbie.
Yeah.
Everything. Astronaut Barbie. Surgeon Barbie. Dental Barbie.
Yeah. You name it. Barbie's done it.
Streetwalker Barbie.
Well,
no, there's no streetwalker.
There's a few Barbie outfits, and I'm like, would that pass the dress code at Florida High School? I don't know.
Well, you got to be kind of careful with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbie could be a little bit risque.
Oh yeah, I love Barbies. Did you play with Barbies?
No, I did have some Barbies, but I didn't really play with them too much.
Now, when I was a little girl, Barbie was big, like the 70s. Yeah, Barbie was big. I had it all: the house and the dream house and the car and the Corvette. Yeah, I loved all my Barbies.
Yeah.
I still love. I go down that aisle and I'm just fascinated. Right, I have a granddaughter. Her name is Joanna. She's a year and a half, and right now it says JoJo doesn't. She's not into Barbies yet.
No,
she plays with her brother's trucks and tractors.
Yeah,
so
nothing wrong with that either.
I'm gonna load up the Barbies at my house. Yeah. So what's tomorrow at the high school?
Tomorrow, I think, is either Color Wars, where you have to wear orange and blue, or it is Anything But a Backpack Day. And on Anything But a Backpack Day, you bring anything but a backpack to carry your stuff in. So I've seen it on Facebook. Other schools have done it. They have like wheelbarrows. Some kids bring they bring like not suitcases. Well, they might suitcases, but briefcases. And like pizza box, I've seen that done. I actually
just went blank. I'm like,
yeah, like just anything that would hold your books. That is, the rules are you have to be able to manage it by yourself. It doesn't take two people to do it, and it cannot be alive.
So you don't want to put your books on your donkey.
No, well, I was thinking it would be cute to have carry your, because I'm like, you could have Ava with you, and like, she's our little neighbor girl. She could carry your book, and that'd be so cute.
That's like, that might be called modern day slavery. Here, peasant.
Just for,
carry my book.
Not the whole day, just for a little bit.
Okay. I was like,
but anyway, Carissa was
who's your servant girl?
No, we can't do that because we can't use anything that's alive.
Oh, see, I was thinking more like animals, like strap it to your dog or,
like a service dog kind of look, and then have books on its back. Poor thing. You can't do that.
And then when there's a parade, I know kids are decorating.
Homecoming parade is on Wednesday night at 7, I think, and then the games start at the football field at 8.
Yeah, I remember.
And then the bonfire.
Yeah, we used to when I was in school, and because the parade is Wednesday, right? Yeah.
Which by the time you see this episode won't air until Thursday.
True. Yeah, we're just talking about it.
It'll be done.
Yeah.
So, but there will be the football game on Friday night. People could attend at the
when we did the parade, our bonfire was actually after the floats were judged and everything. Our bonfire was we burned all the stuff from the parade, from our floats.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they would build it. Then we'd everybody be there with their floats. We'd be parked around. We'd just rip off tissue. Yeah,
that's cool. That's why everybody has cancer now. No, I'm just
because
kidding.
in the 80s, we were burning tissue paper. But I must say, they have I graduated in 85, and this is something the class of 85 is really proud of. We were the only class in Florida high school history that ever won the floats our freshman year, our sophomore year, our junior year, and our senior year.
Wowzers.
Our class, we won it every year. We did 1985 shout out everybody that's watching from class of 85. We and the whole class, we had the best class. Very tight knit. Everybody really liked each other, and we would all work on that float together, and we made some massive float. We won it all 4 years.
That's awesome.
Nobody else has ever done it, so.
I don't even know the theme for this year's homecoming parade, but Carissa did go last night to help build the freshman float. So
isn't it always beat whoever we're playing? Who is
there's a theme. Like one year it was like board games, and they were like Clue, Monopoly.
Yeah, I don't think we really had themes. It was just like you would just be whoever we were playing.
It would just be like Orange and Blue beat the Lions or whatever.
So then Thursday would be, what are they doing Thursday? Do you know? One thing I wish they'd bring back, Celebrity Day. I always loved it when people dress like celebrity.
Yes.
And then I'm assuming Friday will be Orange and Blue Day.
Yeah, I guess. One day is Color Wars. That might be tomorrow. That is like each class has a different color. It's not orange and blue. Like the freshmen are green, and I don't know.
Yeah,
but anyway, it's like they all have to wear their class shirt. So Carissa will have to wear her green freshman shirt.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then, like I said, then Friday will be Orange and Blue Day, I'm sure.
And then the other day is anything but a backpack day.
Anything but a backpack. I wonder who came up with that.
They get a vote on them. Like they get the student council picks, I think.
Okay. Cool beans.
Yeah. All
right.
So it's
I
a
miss
fun
those
week.
days. I loved high school.
Yeah.
Now I know you said you wouldn't go back if you had to.
No.
I loved it. I loved high school. It was awesome.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
We still love our class reunions. We have a good time at our class reunions. And we just had a really good team. That's what I
had a good time at your class reunion.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I went to help give tours at the theater that night.
Yeah, we have, and that was the all 80s.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, the all 80s.
In particular, the class of 85 has always been really tight. We've always had the biggest. We just like each other. Okay. So I've been finding some different ads, and I'm not sure which one Ty's going to throw up there. Which ad are we going to use today, babe? Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is kind of a creepy ad. So I found this.
I love the creepy ones.
It is a little different. So it is Fairbanks Gold Dust Washing Powder.
Oh.
1 tablespoon is just enough, and you'll spend less time at your kitchen sink. So it's Fairbanks Gold Dust. Do you think this is like a baking soda? I have never seen this, but what I think is weird is look at the 2 little boys that's on the front cover of the box. You see them?
Yeah.
They're arm in arm, and they just look really creepy. Here, I'll give you the ad. You can see a little bit closer.
Yeah.
What is it? They don't have shirts on.
They don't have shirts on. If you guys could see these 2 up close, it's like really bad Photoshop. It's like the heads of an old man and the bodies of like a 5-year-old boy. And they have these really creepy smiles.
They do. It's crazy.
Okay.
So whenever you watch us, pause it and make that bigger. I just thought that was the creepiest thing I've ever seen. But it's a cleaning powder.
Yeah, I think this is like Tide, basically, but for dishes.
Yeah.
This is like Dawn soap in a powder form.
Yeah. 1 tablespoon is just enough. But I came across
That's a heaping tablespoon there.
Yeah, I got this. I think this is like, Don Thomas is always having us come over and get stuff. And this is just in a pile. I just got, and they must, because like they actually,
wonder what years these were sold.
I have no idea because you can't really see anything else. Yeah. And there's nothing on the ad. But it's
1889 this stuff was sold. Thank you, Thailander.
1889?
Yes, that's way back when.
Wow. This might be the oldest ad we've ever had. Huh. Yeah, because usually it's all 1900s.
I don't think that it's an original.
Yeah. I'm going to claim it is.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a copy. I don't know.
Fairbanks. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was the craziest.
Blast from the past. I'm glad I have my Dawn dish soap and I don't have to use gold dust.
Yeah, me too.
That looks like it would give you dishpan hands.
Well, and the other thing is it's not going to dissolve. I don't like stuff when stuff doesn't dissolve. I'm a liquid gal.
Gritty feeling.
I don't like that gritty feeling.
Me either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was an interesting ad. And like I said, here it is. It's just
cute.
Yeah, fun. So, our set's really cool today.
It is. We got a little gypsy look going on here.
Yeah, and this is the crystal ball that I had purchased.
Okay.
But this is not the crystal ball that we used in the cemetery tour.
Yeah, so
this crystal ball that I used in the cemetery tour was beautiful. It was about twice the size, would you say? And it had like those blown bubbles, blown glass bubbles. And it actually was Donita Lewis's. And I tried to steal it, but she wanted it back.
Yeah, I bet she did.
So rude.
It's very pretty. Rude,
yeah, it's just so neat. Look at my crystal ball.
Yeah.
Now this crystal ball is going to be sitting out in my house all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I just love it.
Yeah, that's
Why
cute.
doesn't everybody should have a crystal ball in their house?
Exactly. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, so recently we did the Shadows of Elmwood cemetery tour, and Stacey and I both played Gypsies. The skit was all about Gypsies in our area. And so that is why we have the outfits. That's why we have the crystal ball.
That's right. We're going to talk about gypsies, not only gypsies that came to Florida, but gypsies there. Because gypsies I find very fascinating.
I do too.
Where they came from.
It's an entire culture.
It's a whole different, they are their own people. They're their own nation without a nation.
Exactly.
Gypsy nation.
Gypsy Nation.
Gypsy Nation.
Without actually the...
Yeah, but we're going to take a
country.
commercial break, and then we are going to come back here, and we're just going to dive right into the gypsies.
Okay.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we are talking about gypsies.
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. Oh, yeah. One of my
Sing
favorite
it.
songs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the origins of the gypsies.
Okay.
Before we talk about the ones that came to Clay County.
Okay.
Okay. So gypsies they're called Romani Americans. So a lot of people, like when I was doing this, there's Romas, and then there's Romanians. They're not actually Romanians. They're called Romanis.
Okay.
Okay. It's like another little, it's not Romania. It's just offset to Romania. Okay.
So they're not necessarily all from Romania.
They're not, the origin started in, I don't know if you call it Romania or Romani. One of my exchange students was like, it's Romani. She's from Italy. And they came to the U.S. in the 19th century, so you're talking the 1800s, is when they started making their way. The largest population of gypsies in the United States is in Southern California, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Chicago, and St. Louis.
Really?
Yeah, which,
I don't think about them being in St. Louis, but that's cool.
Yeah, St. Louis, yeah. Their occupations, they weave furnitures, they make bricks.
Okay.
They do a lot of brick making. They resell clothing, goods, horse trading. The women are always reading tarot cards and telling fortunes. And they travel the country and being on the road in caravans. And they also now they've upgraded to mobile homes now. So basically, they just wander all over the place.
So they don't actually own land.
They don't own land.
And what if they have horses, though?
The horses, wherever they land, they graze wherever they're at.
Okay.
Like a lot of times when they would come to Clay County, they would literally just leave their horses, once they settled there at the park, and the horses would just graze.
Okay.
And that's where a lot of the problems came with like farmers and stuff. And I know particularly in Clay County because the horses would just go and they would graze on their land. The other thing about the gypsies that I find very interesting is gypsies.
Jingles.
Woo!
Jingle.
Jingle bells. Gypsies do not, or they're not supposed to, marry outside of the Roma clan.
Okay.
They actually can marry relatives. They can marry second cousins. So they are actually not supposed to be. Yeah, they're not supposed to be marry outside their nation. And the other thing is when these gypsy women, when they have babies, they have them on the side of the roads. They have them wherever they're at.
Yeah.
And there's not really any tracking of them because they don't
have Social Security numbers. They don't pay taxes. They don't have any.
They just roam.
No driver's license. No identification.
No. No. So where they have their children, they just have their children wherever they're at. And the gypsy women are also treated like second-class citizens almost. They are to mind their husband because you're talking
really?
Middle Eastern. You're talking in that area.
A lot of them serve as queens.
Yeah, they do serve as queens, but I think it's kind of like
they have to have their king next to them.
They have to have their king next to them that makes the decisions. Yeah. I think it'd be a very tough life.
I think so too, because just thinking about the babies being born on the side of the road, I'm all for natural birth. I am. I've done it, but I've also had high risk pregnancies. So what if one of those ladies was like struggling and having a difficult birth, and they took her to the closest hospital to save her life, but she doesn't have any insurance, no Social Security number, no driver's license. The first thing they ask you at a hospital, can I see your ID?
Absolutely, yeah.
And she doesn't have one. Then what?
I don't know. In my research on them, they just died. They just
still in modern day.
That's pretty much what I'm understanding.
Wow, that's super sad. But
it would be. I would think, though, you'd think sooner or later they're going to have to get modernized.
A little bit. I mean, even the Amish have a little bit.
Yeah. It's interesting. Their religion is Catholic Manouche, Manouche, or Muslim Ashkali, which I've never heard of that, or Roman law as their types of religion. So I would imagine the Roman law is probably their own, and then they break off into certain, I guess like when you have Methodists, you have Free Methodist, First Methodist, First Baptist, Free. So Catholic, Muslim, and then Roman law.
Okay.
Interesting stuff. This I found their ethnicity. They originated in northern India, so that's where they that's I think where all the brightness comes from, maybe. India. They were called gypsies because Europeans thought they were from Egypt. So the name gypsy comes from whenever these people would just come around looking like you and I do with a little bit darker skin.
Yeah.
The Europeans named them gypsies because they thought they were Egyptian. I thought that was a very interesting fact.
I did not know that.
Yeah. One thing about it is, I'll tell you one thing, the gypsies can put on a wedding.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gypsies put on large weddings, and so they go all out for their weddings, and they're crazy. They go on for days.
Yes.
It makes you almost think that, like in biblical times, like a wedding would go on for days.
Sounds exhausting.
Weeks.
Like, I don't have energy for a big old wedding like that. I'd be like, what time is the nap time?
Yeah, you would never have. You'd be done, huh?
Well, I could maybe go a couple of days, but like a whole week of like big celebrations and dancing all day long, and
yeah, I'd be exhausted
eating
too.
big meals.
And
I'd
days,
be like, oh.
days.
Yeah. And do they sleep at night?
I don't know.
During those days?
Maybe everybody falls asleep and they get them start all over again.
I don't know. Good for them, but
Well, this is going to gypsies. They do say that, and the other thing, gypsies are very hardworking. And the thing about it is most gypsies have a lot of money because everything they do is cash on hand. They don't pay any taxes. They don't have any bills. They're not paying property taxes. They're not paying a house. They're not paying mortgages. So most of your gypsies are very wealthy. I thought that was because you think but they're not. They're just traveling, doing their thing, and telling fortunes. And
I don't know. I mean, maybe we should, stop and become gypsies. You want to?
I think we'd be good at it. After the cemetery tour, I thought we did great.
I think so too.
This is interesting. Most common last names of gypsies. I'm thinking they're going to be really weird names. Nope. Boss, Cadona, Smith, Wood, Young, and Cooper.
Oh, really? Then
Your
maybe
children
I would
could be-
fit right in.
Your children could be gypsies.
Maybe we are gypsies.
Maybe you might be.
I don't know.
I don't know. You're going to have to ask the
Cooper
Coopers.
side. Is there gypsy blood in there?
Exactly. I think you should check this out.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. Famous gypsies.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk
Hit
about.
me with some.
Okay, I've got 3.
Okay.
Michael Caine, the actor Michael Caine.
What's he been in?
Okay, let me think. He is British. He's got that British accent. Michael Caine. Oh gosh, he's always in.
Ty can look it up.
Ty can look it up for. Yeah, he's a famous actor.
Okay.
Charlie Chaplin
Are you
from
kidding?
a gypsy tribe. No.
Wow.
And Yul Brynner.
Yul Brynner. I remember him.
You remember Yul Brynner? Yeah. Once he pulls up Michael Caine. Michael Caine's a great actor. He's in everything.
Okay.
But yeah, Charlie Chaplin comes from a gypsy tribe.
How cool.
Right now in the world, Romania, Romania has the largest population of gypsies.
Okay.
Male gypsies are called Roms. R-O-M. Rom.
Okay.
Rom. This is another thing. Gypsies believe life for the dead continues on another level, and they also believe the dead may return to haunt the living. So it kind of makes you, that must be a little bit on the Buddhist side of things, right? Buddhists believe in reincarnation, right?
They believe in reincarnation, but
I don't really think this
they're
is
just saying
reincarnation.
they believe in ghosts.
They do believe in ghosts, which makes sense.
I kind of also believe in ghosts.
I totally believe in ghosts.
I'm a Christian, but I do believe in ghosts because I have seen some really weird things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I totally
But,
believe in ghosts, too.
yeah.
So maybe we are gypsies. That's where this all
Yeah.
comes in, the tarot reading.
Okay.
And the crystal
They
ball.
believe, though, that the spirits talk to them.
Yeah.
And communicate. Well, I do believe spirits can do that, but I also
I
believe
agree.
that
Totally
the Bible
agree.
says to stay away from that. So I'm going to not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's Michael Caine. Yeah,
Okay.
throw a picture of Michael Caine. Do you recognize him?
Yeah. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Great actor, British actor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's Michael Caine. Is he
Yeah.
still living? Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guy.
He wasn't. No, who was the guy? Is he Secondhand Lions?
No.
No.
Well,
Is he the
Yes.
brother? He is. That's it.
yes, he's the other guy
with
in
him and
Secondhand- him
the other
and
guy I love so
Robert
much.
Duvall.
Robert Duvall.
Yes, again,
Secondhand-
another plug for Secondhand Lions. If you haven't seen
Best
best movie ever,
I-
next to a couple of my other favorites.
Yeah,
But
it's right up there
in
in
my
the top
5.
10.
Yeah, it's in my
it's up
top
there.
5, I think. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's an older movie, and the boy that's in it, that little boy.
Oh
he,
yeah, I see dead people.
Yeah, he was the little boy that was. I see dead people in The Sixth Sense.
Robert Duvall's one of my favorite.
Oh,
actors.
man,
but
Robert
that Michael
Duvall's
Caine's
awesome.
great too.
Yeah, he
he's in
is.
a lot of stuff. Gypsy women, they dress to cover themselves for their shame and their purity for their family. So they're one of those that they dress. That's why maybe they layer and do all this stuff.
Okay, so
But I'm thinking this is not. I mean, if you're this bright, you're not really thinking shamefulness.
you're covering the shame of your forehead.
My cool. I broke my bracelets though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that night of the cemetery tour. Gypsies traveled in caravans. They always had lots of horses with them. Whenever they would come out to Charlie Brown Park, they would take up between 15 and 20 camping sites.
Yeah, so let's just tell them that part real quick.
Oh,
So
yeah,
when they
it's
would come
great.
to Clay County, they came through Clay County usually twice a year. Some years it was once, but they would always camp out at Charlie Brown Park. I mean, from like way back. And before Charlie Brown Park was Charlie Brown Park, they camped along the Coon Creek down in that area. So they've been coming through here. Not that they still do, but they did for. I couldn't find any definitive numbers of when it started and when it ended.
I don't know either.
I was told it ended somewhere in the late '60s, early '70s is when it ended. But before that, I think they had been coming here for probably 100 years or more.
I was born in '67, so like the time, like when I was a little girl in the '70s, I remember the Gypsies coming to town vaguely because we would go out to the park and just drive around the park because they were elaborate. They just had everything was bright, and they had their wagons, horses, and they decorated their horses to the T because they traded a lot of horses too with people in town. I remember him. I remember walking downtown, coming to the. I remember the Gypsies. It was like literally that my dad would come home and be like, oh, let's go to the park. The Gypsies are in town. Let's take a commercial break and we'll come back and talk more about Gypsies.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online bank, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I am Stacey Earlywine, and we are talking about, I guess you can probably guess, Gypsies. Yeah. So we were talking about like the origins of Gypsies and where they came from, where they get their name. Very interesting people.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really liking the Gypsies.
Yeah, me too.
Talking about like when they used to come into town and through Clay County in the 60s and 70s. I remember them. Beth wasn't here. When were you born?
79.
79, so Beth wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
Gypsies were fun. And I do remember, like, there was that bit whenever they would come to town and people would be like, oh, my gosh, the Gypsies. Everybody almost panicked when they came to town because there was some deceitfulness and there was some stealing. And when they let their animals graze on people's properties, they didn't like that. And when they did leave, I remember it being not quite as tidy as when they showed up. But boy, they were a fun group. I've got pictures. Let's go to some black and white pictures first, babe.
Okay.
I've just pulled up some old black and white pictures because this is kind of singing, dancing.
Yeah, they loved music. They had a lot of tambourines and guitars and violins.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They're
Very musical. Very musical people. Do I have another black and white picture? Look at that.
Oh, wow.
This is the Gypsies that I remember coming. I mean, because that's the wagons that they would come into town. It's almost like, let's go back to the Little House on the Prairie days, when the snake salesman would come to town. That's what reminded me of when the Gypsies came to town. And they were big. Yeah, they were just so fun because everything was bright. Okay, let's show some more pictures. And that's what, that's where we think, everything's bright. And
pinks and reds
pinks
and
oranges.
And
oranges.
You don't often think about wearing red and pink at the same time, but they did it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All different shades.
Yeah, look at him. Okay, how many more pictures are? Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's a super cute caravan.
Right?
Like the curtains around it. And
yeah, they just have stuff everywhere. Baskets that they weaved.
Yeah, and here they are just raising these 3 little girls in the back of this caravan type thing.
Yeah, I don't, it's crazy to me.
What a life.
I can't imagine how hard. Now, the thing about it is, okay, let's just keep showing more pictures because, is that all of them or I have one more? That's it?
That's
okay,
it.
So where would they, okay, so apparently they don't travel like that anymore.
Probably
you never
not.
see, because we see Amish.
Right. I think nowadays they drive big, long Cadillacs and stuff.
Yeah.
For cars.
Pink Cadillacs.
That's what I think. Just because.
Yeah, they don't do the wagon.
I've
that
heard
probably
that
ended
there's
in the
big
70s.
fancy cars that regularly come visit the graves of the Gypsies that are buried at East Lawn Cemetery in Salem, Illinois.
That's because once they travel through Clay County, and Beth and I are going to touch on the. Beth is going to start talking about the skit that we actually did that she wrote for the cemetery tour, and those Gypsies are buried at East Lawn Cemetery in Salem. And I haven't been there because I haven't been to Salem since we've done this. But I'm going to stop because apparently at this cemetery there is a ginormous.
Yeah.
And even like the person that you played, her and my son Charlie, their pictures. Did you know that? Did you see that grave?
Yeah, the gravestones are amazing, and I should have brought pictures of those to share today.
I didn't even think about that. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about our skit that we did.
Okay, so in the cemetery skit, we had to somehow tie it to Elmwood Cemetery.
Right.
Because that's where we are. And I found this really funny article in the Clay County paper. And I say me, and what I mean is Donna Corey found it for me. Thank you, Donna. And anyway, she was helping me do research, and this article was about 2 people. One was Mr. J.F. Luce, that his name was Joseph Franklin Luce. It was really more about his wife. Her name was Bertha Luce.
Bertha.
Okay, so Joseph Franklin Luce is buried at Elmwood, and he was alive in Clay County right here from 1879 to 1933. And then his wife, Bertha, she lived from 1883 to 1957. She didn't die until 57. She actually was buried out west. She had moved out there to be near her kids after her husband had passed away. But anyway, in the 1950s, no, it wasn't the 1950s. I think it was, I didn't write down the date that it happened, but I think it was the 1920s.
It was
the
when the incident happened.
Yes,
it was the 20s.
So there was an incident, and this was in the paper. And she worked at a store in Florida called the Schiffman's store. Now that was downtown.
Yeah, let's talk.
But I don't know which building that was in. It was a general store. They carried like all kinds of things.
Because I have not. Okay, like when we're always doing research and stuff, I have not come across any
Schiffman's.
Shift. SHIFT.
It's actually SHIFF.
Schiffman.
MANS. Schiffman's store. And it was downtown somewhere. I don't think it was one that was there for a really extended time.
Okay.
I think it was probably short-lived because you don't
just
hear
a
or see
basic
about
dime
much.
store, general store.
But she's in there working, okay? And there is another clerk in there working, and she saw out the window a Hudson car go by. A Hudson car was like an early type of vehicle. So at that time, they were using cars.
Okay, cool.
So I guess the Gypsies were known to have this type of car. So she saw them go by in a Hudson car. And she was kind of, I picture her kind of hiding back behind a rack like this. But I don't know really how it happened. But the newspaper article said that these Gypsies entered the store, 2 Gypsy ladies entered the store, and one of them's job was to distract the clerk. They did not see Bertha wherever she was in the store. They only saw the other lady.
Right.
And they robbed her took all of her money.
Mm-hmm.
And while one of them, I think, was talking to the clerk, yak, 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 while the other one went up to the register and took all the money. Then they left. But meanwhile, smart little Bertha Luce, she's back here in the corner, and she saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
so
then
Bertha was just hanging out in the back. Somebody else, another worker, was being distracted.
And
I can totally see me getting distracted
Bertha
and being
was
robbed.
super brave, because do you know what she did? She didn't just pick up the phone and call the police and be like, "Oh, we're out of money." She chased him down. She left the store and chased him down, and grabbed him and said,
"Give me my money back.
We want the money back. How dare you do this? Blah blah blah." And she took all of the money back from them except for $5.
So
She left them $5.
I'm visualizing back in the 20s in Flora, Illinois. Gypsies running down the street, and a lady named Bertha in her perfect little outfit.
Yes, probably in heels, chasing them down and being like, "Listen, I saw the whole thing and I want the money back."
Bertha was tough.
How dare you? And so she took all of the money back from them except for $5. She left them $5.
That was and she didn't have to do that.
She did not
so
have to do that.
So Bertha must have been pretty nice.
But then the police were contacted. And the police went and found those two ladies, and they took the last $5 back from them. Actually, you're not keeping that much either.
So wait a minute.
And then ran them out of town.
So
didn't throw them into jail. They just ran them out of town.
My next question is,
yes,
what did the police do with that $5?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not in the article. I'm assuming they gave it back to Bertha in the store.
Yeah, but see, Bertha must have had a heart.
I think she did. I think she was a sweet
lady. But
$5
back in the 20s
that was probably quite a bit.
That was probably quite a bit.
She was probably like, use this for food or whatever you need and get out of here. Just leave.
Just leave us alone.
And then the police were like, actually, I'm going to escort you to the edge of town, and you're going to return that $5. And
go to Salem.
So also in our research, we found another story in the newspaper about the Gypsies. And so so Gypsies were always getting the blame for everything.
They did get the blame for everything.
And
I bet they were innocent on a lot of things.
I think they were, because all of the criminals that were in towns that they stopped at knew that they had a bad attitude. So when they would come to town, crime would pick up.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was teenage boys and criminals. And they would do something. They would steal. They would rob. They would take somebody's horse, whatever. And then they had an easy scapegoat in town. And they'd say the Gypsies did it.
You know, whenever we were doing this skit, Beth and I were in the skit along with, let's see, Joel Hackney played.
Joel and Sarah Hackney played Mr. and Mrs. Luce.
And then Kaylee Bailey.
She played
We're going to talk about a lady here in a minute. And then my sister Linda Waller, Kim Smith, and Becky Wiley played the bad Gypsies. But I played the Queen of Gypsies, Stella, and Beth played my daughter-in-law.
Yeah, I was Queen Mazzella.
And that's, I guess you really don't think about... I don't have a criminal mind.
I don't either.
I do not. I would not... If I knew the bank robbers were coming to Florida right now...
Yeah, you wouldn't be
I wouldn't be thinking, I think I'll go rob a bank because bank robbers are coming to town.
Yeah, I'll just blame it on them. I don't think like that, but I guess a lot of people did, especially teenage boys. Like, they would go out and stir up a bunch of trouble, and no one would suspect them.
Why would
because it was the Gypsies. All the bad people are in town right now. It had to be the Gypsies. This hasn't happened before. People did that. So, not to say that the Gypsies were always innocent, because they did have their share of criminal activity.
I think it's a happy medium. But they were known
for that, but they weren't all like that. There was really, for the most part, they were a very peaceful bunch.
Agreed.
They were just travelers.
Yeah.
Traveled through. So, this Mrs. William Kerr, Kurr, she lived from 1878 to 1958. She's buried at Golden Cemetery here in Clay County. She has a couple of kids, though, that are buried at Elmwood.
Where is Golden?
Golden is, if you turn on Palm Lane and go west, it comes to a T.
It's got that real pretty cast iron.
Yes.
Okay. I think when I did the cemeteries when you were gone, maybe one time, or whatever we did the cemeteries, I think
I talked about that one. I don't know that you did, but maybe you did. I don't know, but
I don't remember.
It's kind of a little bit creepy to go by there at night.
It kind of is, yeah. You did talk about that one. It was a little creepy.
Okay, so Mrs. William Kerr, in the newspaper article, she's never mentioned by her first name, as most women were not. She was just simply called Mrs. William Kerr. The Gypsies had went by her house earlier in the day. And a little bit of time went by, and she realized that she had not seen her children. She hadn't seen them in a little while, so she was just certain that the gypsies that drove by had kidnapped her children. So she went, I'm picturing, screaming around the area. I think they lived kind of on the countryside. Went and gathered up all the neighbors, formed a posse. And all this had to have happened within a very short amount of time.
Right.
Got a posse together and was like sent people after the gypsies, sent people out to look for the kids. Like, she was mad. How dare those gypsies
took her babies.
Took her babies.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, her children were found quietly playing in a nearby orchard, picking wildflowers, completely oblivious to anything going on around them, and had not even been touched or harmed or even seen by the gypsies that had went by. She jumped to conclusions big time, and it made the newspaper.
Could you imagine how tragic that could have been back in that day?
Yeah.
People could have just been like
started shooting
gypsies for no reason.
Yeah.
Because of this woman's overreaction.
Yeah. Yeah, she and apologies if you're related to her, and because she didn't die until 1958. She overreacted. I'm not saying she was a bad person. I'm saying she overreacted in this situation and caused a lot of alarm and unnecessary drama. But that's how people reacted to the gypsies. I mean, they were just like, "Oh, there's a gypsy. I'm sure my house is robbed and my kids are gone and we're all going to die." Well, it really wasn't like that.
If you think about, and you're thinking about the time, I think in today's world, we're so used to everybody doing their own thing and being their own people. So when we see somebody that comes in that's dressed gothic, we don't even think anything about it. We see this, I don't know. But if you're talking like, back in the day, the 20s through the 70s, I mean, when everybody pretty much did the same thing, dressed alike, and especially like when you're in your small town, we're all similar in that, and these people come to town. I mean, it's literally like head turners. Like, oh my gosh, what are they up to? What are they up to? You're going to automatically assume.
Right.
Well, I'm even kind of like that today, but having a business uptown. If I see somebody I'm like, oh, I don't know that person. Who's that person? Who's that guy? Hey, Diane, where's that person? You know that guy? And I'm like, who is that guy? You don't recognize.
Right. And you have to be, what's the word? You pay attention.
Yeah.
You have to be alert to things around you.
Yeah.
But you can't be clueless. But
yeah. But I didn't
there's a happy medium.
I didn't go accuse him of. Oh, I don't. I parked my car at a different location to accuse him of stealing my car.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, that was kind of a.
So that was two of the stories that were in our skit about the gypsies.
I wonder what happened
local
after
stories.
If because then in the skit, Kaylee was like, "Oh, I guess I jumped to conclusions," and we're like, "Yeah, you sure did," all this stuff. But I wonder, if it was just that nonchalant. You literally accuse people of still kidnapping your children.
No, I wonder if it was there was probably no repercussions. They were probably like, "Oh, we found them."
Because nowadays you can't do that. I mean, you can't just. Well, you're not supposed to be able to accuse people of stuff, but I wonder if it was just like, sorry, gypsy lady.
Yeah, sorry, overreacted.
Yeah, Well,
they're probably used to it.
Yeah, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the two best gypsies
ever,
our parts.
We'll be back.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting to work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
For over 50 years, at your locally owned and operated Roll King Supply in Salem and Olney, we've helped you and your neighbors enjoy an easy country lifestyle. We carry the most thorough sporting goods department around with a huge variety of hunting and fishing gear, camping equipment, and a variety of firearms for any need. Our team is here to help you find whatever you need. Open every day, it's Roll King in Salem and Olney, your locally owned farm and home store.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we have been talking about gypsies.
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Wrong. No, not yeehaw.
Yeehaw with cowboys, but I don't know. You can say yeehaw if you want to.
I'm not even sure where that came from. I don't know. Maybe I want to do cowboys next episode.
Maybe we were talking about, Cowboy Barbie earlier.
Yeah, I must have got into Cowboy Barbie mode.
Okay, so we're talking about gypsies. We talked about Mrs. William Kerr and her overreacting. We talked about Mrs. Lewis, who got robbed at the store downtown. And there was a couple other prominent gypsy families that were regulars to Salem, Illinois.
Yes.
Okay, and they're in our viewing area, so we're going to discuss them too, because at the cemetery tour they were visiting from Salem in our skit.
They were,
although they're not buried at Elmwood, they made an appearance because Salem's only about 25 to 30 minutes away.
Well, I love Queen Stella Broadway.
Yes, so there's royalty, gypsy royalty buried in Salem.
Yes,
and they are kings and queens of the gypsy tribes. So I don't remember the whole backstory on how they ended up being buried there, but I think they were traveling through when one of them fell sick and the first one was buried there. And then after that, they just kind of kept going back there, and then they decided, I guess, somewhere along the way, that would just be the family plot.
Right, yeah.
So
very interesting.
Yes, so Stacey played a lady named Queen Stella. But Queen Stella was the granddaughter of Samuel Joles, Joles, and the Joleses were the original royalty, or at least as far back as what my research went. That was the royalty, and
so just like every other royal line, you're just born.
Yeah.
So they literally treated it like every other royal line.
So when Samuel Joles and his wife, which I don't have her name written down, when they passed away, then Stella here and her husband were crowned king and queen of the gypsies, and her husband's name was Richard.
Richard Broadway.
Richard Broadway. So she was Stella Broadway, queen of the gypsies. And her dates were 1921 to 1968. So you didn't die until 68. So actually you, Stacey Earlywine, was alive at the same time
Queen
as Stella Broadway was.
How fun is that? So Stella Broadway didn't realize that there was a little girl,
nearby that
was one day going to portray her. How fun is that?
That's cool.
I love that.
That's cool to think about that.
I love the cemetery tour period.
So Queen Stella was known for chewing Red Man, chewing tobacco.
I didn't do that in the tour.
Yeah.
No. Oh my gosh, I was going to put that. I knew there was that picture I was going to put of you.
Oh. So.
Okay, keep talking.
We're not going to share that picture.
Yeah, we are.
So, okay. So.
You keep talking. Go on with the show.
Okay.
By the way.
So Richard and Stella had a son, and they named him Charles. Okay. That was their only child. Charles. And then he grew up, and then he picked a wife, and her name was Mazzella, and I played Mazzella. So I was married to Charles Broadway, and I was Mazzella Broadway. My dates were 1950 to 1994. So the sad thing was they all died young. So Mazzella only lived to be the age of 44. Stella only lived to be the age of 48.
Yeah.
And so they all died young. I don't know if it was connected to their Red Man and cigarettes. So Queen Mazzella smoked cigarettes, and that's what she was known for.
Yeah, trying to find that. Where's that picture?
She can't find it. That's okay.
No, I'm finding it. You just keep talking.
In the cemetery tour, I never lit it. I didn't smoke it.
I know, but it's hysterical.
I actually had a cigarette in my mouth because I was playing the part.
Yeah.
And all those around me got such a big kick out of it because
it was hysterical.
It is so unlike me.
It is so.
It is not me at all. I was completely in character. And they laughed and laughed and laughed at me. This picture was taken while I didn't know it was being taken.
Where am I at?
So
look at this. Okay.
You'll have to zoom in a little
bit. Look at that. Look at that. Seriously?
I was in between wagons. I was out there checking my phone. I was still in character, had the little cigarette hanging out on out there. So funny. We had the best time. It really was a fun 24 hours out there because you're out there about, I don't know, it seemed like close to 12 hours each night.
You know what? All I've got
I think it was more like 8, probably 16 hours.
All I've got to say to you is that is going to be your funeral picture.
No!
It is!
No, you cannot make that my obituary picture.
You know,
Ryan Muskoff, if you're watching, do not allow that to happen.
It's happening if you die before I do.
It can be on the slideshow, but it cannot be the one that runs.
Because I'm all about taking funeral pictures.
Yeah.
You know? Because every picture I'm in a costume. I'm like, that could be a good funeral picture. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I had to find that.
Yeah,
sorry.
Well, thanks for sharing that. No, I really didn't mind. I even shared it on my own Facebook.
It
but
was
I'm like,
awesome.
Please do not ever make this my obituary picture. Like, it has to be the worst picture ever taken of me. Oh, gosh.
What are we even talking about now?
I don't know. We're talking about Mazzella and Stella.
Oh, yeah. Mazzella and Stella.
So anyway, they were queens, and they were married to the kings. And there are, if you drive through East Lawn Cemetery in Salem, which is that cemetery, it's right there on the east side of Salem in the lawn.
From what I understand, as soon as you go under where the trains go, the underpass, it's just right there.
Yeah, it is. And you turn in there, and you kind of wind your way back in there, and there are some huge monuments for these gypsies. And they have photos on there, and almost always they are covered in all kinds of little trinkets and things that people have left for them. And they say there's still regular visitors that come in these big fancy cars that get out and eat whatever, and then they leave. So
yeah.
I don't know a lot about that. I know there are people out there that speak only on this family and on this subject, and you can actually attend lectures about them. And I wanted to go to one, but we had another event that night. It was going to be in Robinson. But
that's right. I forgot about that.
But if there's anybody that is more educated on this subject than me, and I want you to know, I apologize. I don't know that family's history as well as some, but this is the basics.
So it's got to be quite elaborate if they're doing lectures on this family.
Yeah.
At the college in Robinson?
I think that is where it was.
I remember you talking about, because as soon as we talked about doing the Gypsy skit.
I put it on my calendar, and we're like, we got to go to that. And then it was some of
who knows what happened.
We had a big something or else that was the same night. So I'm like, that's not going to happen. But I would love to. Yeah, if the Clay County Genealogical Society wanted to put on a lecture like that, that I think would be well attended.
I would think it would be fun.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep. So gypsies are fascinating.
They are, and they're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they dress well.
They dress well, yeah, because, like I said, they have money and they dress well. They dress to impress, and, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you remember the one episode of Bonanza?
Probably. Which one?
When the gypsy lady came to town and Little Joe...
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't thought about that in a long time.
I don't know why that just came to my mind. Yeah, you remember that episode?
He fell in love with her?
He fell in love with the gypsy lady.
Yeah.
She was super cute.
Uh-huh.
And didn't she get left behind?
I don't remember that part.
Okay, let's talk. Were there any gypsies on Little House on the Prairie?
I don't remember gypsies, but they did have like a traveling man that would come through like with the pots and pans banging on the side of the wagon. He was like trading goods. I don't know.
That's the other thing, because I do remember, like in the skit, whenever Becky Wiley would talk about pots and pans. Where did they get pots and pans?
They actually made pots and pans somehow. It said that in two places that I researched was like they were known for making pots and pans. They also fixed pots and pans. So if you had one that was broken, had a broken handle or something, they could fix it. They did have like regular trades that they did for money, by making that. They also fixed jewelry, sold jewelry.
Yeah.
There were lots of little.
I'd give anything if I had like an original basket that one of them made.
Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome to have.
Absolutely. We should look on eBay.
I wonder if you can actually, on eBay you just put like original Gypsy basket.
I don't know. We could try it.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's got to be, if they're so well known that they're doing lectures about them, they've got to be.
Yeah, so if any of you are looking for the perfect Christmas gift for Stacey, order her a basket made by Gypsies.
Exactly.
From eBay.
Preferably from the Broadway family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Beth,
Wouldn't
why
that
don't you
be
tell
cool?
everybody where we can be seen
Okay,
at?
so we are on Wabash Catch TV, channel 100, daily at 11 a.m. Our new episodes air on Thursdays and Fridays, and we're also on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is By the Way with Beth and Stacey, and all of our episodes are on there, so you can watch them anytime you please, but each of our new episodes are added on Mondays to the YouTube channel. We're also on Facebook. You can find us at By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Like and follow us because we need more followers. So
We
like
do
and
need more
follow
followers,
and
yeah.
share our channel. And also, you can email us at bythewaywithbethandstacey@gmail.com. And right now we are requesting Halloween stories. So if you have any haunted stories, ghost stories, anything related to Clay County or our viewing area, it doesn't have to be Flora or Clay County if you're in Salem or wherever else you may see this channel.
Right.
Send us in a story. We would love to hear it. We would love to share it because we have some really fun ideas planned for October.
Well, and the thing about it is October. Next time we come back it's going to be in October.
Yes.
The first
This is the end of September.
It is, isn't it?
How did it go by so fast?
I don't know.
It's like boom.
I don't know. I can't.
I don't know either. My life is flying by. It is a blur. Beth Cooper's life is a total blur.
It's a total blur.
Okay, so hit me with a rule to live by.
Inspirational quote?
Yes, inspirational quote.
This one's from Dale Carnegie.
Okay.
Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Get out and get busy.
I would agree with that.
I totally agree with Dale Carnegie on that one.
Good job, Dale Carnegie.
Good job.
Inaction breeds fear.
Yeah.
Action breeds confidence.
And probably grit.
Grit. Yes.
And what's the other word that we love so much?
Eager.
Gumption.
Gumption.
Yes. We love
I'm
grit
eager
and
to hear
gumption.
more from Dale Carnegie.
Me
He sounds like a
too.
smart guy. He's got a lot of gumption to say that.
Gumption, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that quote.
Mm-hmm, me too.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, that's good.
Awesome.
Yep.
I don't know. Today's show was fun.
It was fun. Any show that we do with a costume,
Which
fun.
is, we got to really, at lunchtime, we got to really lay down the plan for October.
I know. For sure. So, anyway,
All right.
I'm losing my gypsy scarf
You
here,
are, yeah.
but-
I'm ready to
Yeah.
take, my headband's itching my head.
I got some jewels. I don't know
You
where
lost some jewels
I
halfway
did.
through the.
Oh, did I? Here they are.
There they are. Those things are
So-
super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
fun show.
Fun.
Thank you for joining us. As always, we appreciate it, and we will see you next time.
God bless you. Have a great day.